What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Severin Showcase. This is my monthly series where I break down, talk about, discuss, and just show off the newest stuff from Severin. This month, we have a cool one. We have a really cool one. So, in my opinion, one of the most criminally underrated box set series that they put out. I don't think enough people talk about these sets. I don't think people talk about it enough about the movies within these sets. And I'm talking about the Danza Macabra series. This is volume 3. I can't remember offhand what month this technically is. I know it's the latest from them. This is the most recent shipment that I got. Before this was the Bruce Lee box set. So now we have this. I want to say this is June. It's either May or June. It's one of those. But I just got this in. Haven't had a chance to crack into it. But I wanted to show it off and talk about it. A lot of times when I get this stuff in, it's really difficult to... There's 4 movies in here. 8 hours of bonus features. It's really difficult for me to fully jump in, get through it, and talk about everything, right? It's really, really hard to do, and I try my best to when I can. It's not always feasible, right? But I want to be able to come on here and show you what these look like, the artwork, talk about what's on here. That way, you can make the decision for yourself to go ahead and pick this stuff up. I love what Severin does. I love their releases. I'm buying them either way. But that's me, and then I come on here and I show you and you make the decision. So consider me... consider these videos your first look, in depth, in video, not with just photos. So let's crack into this. I tried my best to dive in and do some research on each of these titles, and I found it really difficult because outside of, 2 of these I got a little bit of info on, not much. But 2 of these, there was almost nothing available for them. It was kind of like outside of an IMDb page with no trivia, nothing else really attached to it. Obviously, Wikipedia is not the greatest source of information, but not a lot of information there. Just not a lot out about some of these titles. So what's in this box is extremely exciting because this is the first time ever, more than likely, that they're getting interviews with cast and crew and all kinds of stuff. So this set, super, super cool. Let's check this thing out. So this is volume 3. Let's look at this artwork here. So there is the front of the box. Check that out. Super cool cover there. This is the back of the box. Really cool there. A ton of information. And then both of your spines look like this here. If it'll focus with your movie list. And then like their other sets, this top actually comes off like that. Inside you have 4 cases. So let's take these out. So in this set here, according to the info on the back, we have 4 restored classics and 8+ hours of special features. So there's a lot jammed into here, a whole lot. Each film has been scanned from the original negative for the first time ever in America. So big deal what's in this box set. Let me throw that to this side. And I'm going to go in order of the movies. So let me flip that over. So first up in here we have Necrophagous. I think I'm saying that right. There is your front cover. That is wicked. And this is the back. If you can't read it, that's okay. I'll go through some things. So there's the back. If I remember correctly, this is the only one in here with the key art not done by Mark Spears. So all 3 other ones in here have original key art done by an artist named Mark Spears. I think this is the only one that doesn't. But yeah, this thing is wicked. So let's check out the disc first. There is no reversible sleeve. And then this is your disc artwork. That's cool. If it'll focus on there. I guess not. I gotta cover up the poster back there to get that to work. There you go. There's your disc art. Pop that back in here. So, on Necrophagous, this is the worldwide Blu-ray premiere, now restored uncut, scanned in 2K from a recently discovered negative for the first time ever. This contains an audio commentary with Andy Marshall Roberts, host of the Nasty... I think it's the Nasty Pasty podcast, but it looks like it's spelled pasty. We have Something You've Never Seen, which is an appreciation by... I think it's Angel Sala. I'm going to be butchering names throughout this whole thing. Who is the head of programming at the Zeitgeist Film Festival. We have the first horror film festival in the world, which is a remembrance by Maria Pilar Rafaelis, daughter of Sicky's Film Festival founder Antonio Rafaelis. And then we have some trailers. So this thing looks wicked. This art is crazy. This is actually... I threw this in earlier. I got about 40 minutes in before my wife got home and was like, "What are we watching?" But I was having some good fun with it. So after this video is over, I'm gonna throw this back in and watch the rest of it. So we have Necrophagous. Let me open up this box. Ooh, get this back in there. There we go. Perfect. So next up, we have a horror anthology. Actually, this is really cool cover. This is Cake of Blood. Check that out. Sorry for any reflections in there, any glares. Super cool artwork. Here is the back with some of the photos. Again, no reversible art on this. But like I said, this is actually an anthology, which was really cool to learn. So there's your disc art there. Sorry, I'm just covering up that poster back there. So this is an anthology. Let me see here. There is 4 stories on here. I think this is the worldwide Blu-ray premiere, now restored uncut, scanned from 2K from the original negative for the first time ever again. And yeah, there is 4. So we have Tarot. We have Victor Frankenstein, The Dance or Emotional Survivors, and Cake of Blood. Dance, Emotional Survivors, and that might be the wraparound story. Cake of Blood, but super interesting. It's from 1971, Spanish with English subtitles, 90 minutes long. So super cool. This one thing I love about what Severin does with these sets is much like Volume 2 of Danza Macabra, where you got not only a 4K, but we had the Jekyll and Hyde little, like 4-part kind of like mini series. Like I don't know, in the 60s, obviously they didn't call it mini series, but a really cool find to put in the set to kind of break up. It's not just, oh, here's 4 movies. It kind of breaks it up and gives you something new. So again, we'll just take a look. It's a Cake of Blood. That is disc 2 inside of Danza Macabra 3. Third, we have, and this is where I finally started getting some info and learning some info. So I have some notes to my left here about this one. But this is great artwork again. Cross of the Devil, or I think it's otherwise known as the Devil's Cross. That artwork is incredible. Here is the back here. And this one here, this is again, first time ever English-friendly home video release. And this was scanned in 4K from the negative with English subtitles for the first time ever. And this is the one that I was able to dive into a little bit as far as information on it. I just realized I didn't cover the bonus features on Cake of Blood. So on this we have an audio commentary with Rod Burnett of NashiCast and The Bloody Pit, Dr. Adrian Smith, co-author of Norman J. Warren, Gentlemen of Terror, My Generation, interview with actor Marissa Paredes, I Just Wanted to Have Fun, interview with co-director Jamie Chavari, To Whoever Wants to Watch, this is an interview with actor Jose Lafonte, and then again we have an Art House UFO, which is appreciation by Angel Sala, head of programming at the Zeitgeist Film Festival. So those are the bonus features on Cake of Blood. I completely skipped over those. So Cross of the Devil, this was directed by John Gilling, and this was the first, his return to Hammer, basically. He had stopped making Hammer, and I think it was 67 was kind of his final. So then he comes back in 74. This is his final film in general, and he actually wasn't even going to make this movie. He went on vacation with a friend of his, Paul Naschy, who wrote The Devil's Cross or Cross of the Devil, and asked him to direct it. But when I kind of dove in a little bit further about it, there was a ton of drama um, surrounding this movie. And my source is Wikipedia, so I was a little hesitant about how true the information really was. Something about Paul Nash, he wrote it. He wanted to star in it. It got sold to another production company who told Nash he couldn't star in it, and there was kind of all this drama surrounding this release. And I guess it ended up just being, he went to John Gilling and was like, hey, can you direct this for me? And it ended up working out. It was his final film, as well as a kind of a nice return to Hammer horror for somebody who had done so much Hammer horror in his career. I mean, I went through, I think his filmography on IMDb, his directing credits were like 77. So there was a ton of films that he put out. So this is a super exciting release. On here we have an audio commentary with Kim Newman, who's the author of Anno Dracula, and Barry Forshaw, author of Brit Noir. Fascinated by, I want to say it's Becaire? Interview with screenwriter Juan Jose Porto. The Real Templar Knights movie, appreciation by Angel Sala, head of programming. And then we have something called Fantasy and Imagination, the legacy of Gustavo Adolfo Becaire. It's a video essay by Xavier Aldana Reyes, who's the author of Spanish Gothic, National Identity, Collaboration, and Cultural Adaptation. So it just came back to me suddenly, the screenwriter Juan Jose Porto. I'm pretty sure Nash's script, when it got bought up by another production company, they hired another writer to change a bunch of things. Like I said, it's a bit of a mess with this one here, but a nice single disc. And again, same artwork here. So check that out. Let me cover up the poster back there. The artwork just translates beautifully to the disc. So, Cross of the Devil. Great. That's one of the ones I'm looking forward the most to getting into and checking out. And then, last but not least, we have one more. And this is a movie by Leon Komofsky. This is The Night of the Walking Dead. There's that key art by Mark Spears. Looks great, don't it? And then here is your back, no reversible flip art on this one. And this one here, this was actually directed. So Leon Komofsky, when I was kind of going through his history, his filmography, one movie really popped out to me, and that was The Werewolf versus the Vampire Woman. And that's because Vinegar Syndrome just put out that 4K, starring Paul Nash. So I was super excited. I actually saw that movie, I think on YouTube, like when Vinegar Syndrome announced they were putting it out. I think I tracked it down on YouTube or something, and I watched it and had a ton of fun with it. So I recognized the name right away when I pulled this out of the box. I got this in yesterday, so it was yesterday then. This is the worldwide Blu-ray premiere, now restored uncut, scanned in 2K from the negative for the first time ever again. This has an audio commentary with Kat Ellinger, who's the author of Daughters of Darkness. We have A Deadly Invitation to Another Dimension, another appreciation by Angel Sala, head of programming at the Psychus Film Festival. Leo's Signature, interview with writer Juan Jose Porto. So same writer as Cross of the Devil here. Dead Man Walking, which is an interview with actor Jose Lafante. Spain's Cinematic Vampires, a video essay by Xavier Aldana Reyes, author of Spanish Gothic, National Identity, Collaboration, and Cultural Adaptation. Then we also have an alternate Spanish credit sequence on here. So this is from 75, running 88 minutes. So The Night of the Walking Dead. I believe this also went by, Strange Love of the Vampires was the other name that came up for it. So, and this is actually rediscovered after decades of edited prints and bad transfers. So this is the best the movie's ever going to look. I don't know if we're ever going to see another, does this get a 4K eventually? Probably not. But super cool to have in hand. And that's Danza Macabra Volume 3. Super cool set. Let me put that back on. I think this collection, I hope it continues, because now we're in the 70s. The final film in here is 75. I would love to see that continued progression of Spanish Gothic into the 80s if it did continue, which I imagine it did. If it did continue in, I thought it would be really hard for them to follow up Volume 2 with the 4K and the little mini series or just really long movie that was in there. I thought that had the best curation of titles, or maybe it was just titles that I worked with me a little bit better. But Volume 3 looks like it is just progressing and getting into better and better territory. I'm very excited to dive in and check this out. If you guys are interested in my thoughts on any of the movies, I am no longer doing like actual star ratings on my Letterboxd. I am going to continue doing rankings, but it's just going to be in like least favorite or favorite to least favorite. It's no longer going to be like, oh, 4-star movie, 3-star movie, 2-star movie. I'm done doing that. So I'm just logging everything that I watch and creating lists. And the lists are always going to change too when I decide to revisit series or franchise or box sets. So over the next week, I'm going to have a new list created for this. I'll put my favorite to least favorite, just some thoughts in there about it, as well as posting on my Instagram, which if you don't follow, you're missing out. It's a Bearded Film Guy. I'll throw it right down below. So same name as a YouTube channel. But if you're interested in Danza Macabra, this is still available on Severin's website. Let's take a look at what it's going for at the moment. So let's go on to Severin Films. So right now it's 25% off. It is $75 at the moment right now. You can get the 4 interest-free payments from shop of $18.75. That's going on right now, available. I don't know if it's going to be a part of the big July sale that's coming up, but $75 is one hell of a price for 4 movies. You're paying less than $20 a title. And these titles, if you're like me and you're absolutely fascinated with the restoration and the curation of physical media and keeping these titles that probably would have never seen the light of day had it not been for this effort, keeping that stuff alive, definitely worth the investment. So go on, check that out. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Letterboxd. Let's talk about the movies in here, and I'll catch y'all next time. Later.